Thanks for joining today's edition of ASO Briefing. I am Richard Alechinoanye. Our top stories. FCT Minister Barrister Wike appeals to striking workers as FCTA commissions 12 ambulances. Federal government deploys electric vehicles to boost operational efficiency at Abuja airports. ECOWAS allocates over $719,000 in humanitarian aid to support vulnerable communities in Togo. You are watching ASO Briefing. Don't forget that you can watch us live on DSTV channel 392, StarTimes TV channel 127, and on Free TV, look us up on channel 507. On the UHF band, you can find us on channel 38. Now we go ahead with details of all our stories. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Barrister Ezenwo Wike, has appealed to striking workers in the FCT to embrace dialogue and avoid actions capable of undermining governance and service delivery. The Minister made the appeal while commissioning and handing over 12 newly procured ambulances to strengthen emergency healthcare services in the territory. Our correspondent, Usman Katun Umar, tells us more.
Speaking at the ceremony, the FCT Minister commended the Mandate Secretary of the Health Services and Environment Secretariat and her team for ensuring the delivery of the ambulances, describing the initiative as part of a broader effort to strengthen the health emergency response system in the territory. Barrister Wike said the FCT administration had, since assumption of office, prioritized the settlement of outstanding allowances and entitlements owed to health workers, stressing that no sector would be neglected. He explained that the administration's heavy investment in road infrastructure was directly linked to improving healthcare delivery, noting that ambulances and emergency services could only function effectively with good and accessible roads. The minister also disclosed that the FCT administration was already in the process of rehabilitating and furnishing 14 health centers across the territory, while approval has been given for the recruitment of additional personnel to address staffing gaps in the healthcare sector. Addressing the ongoing industrial action by workers, Barrister Wike urged sincerity and dialogue, warning that sabotage and politicization of labor issues would not be tolerated.
So I appeal to you that the future of this country is on all of us. Mr. President is doing the best he can do, but you can also support by being progressive minded. So I appeal to all of you. Forget this thing, you go and block the gate. Say you will not obey court order. Let me advise you. It depends on whom you are dealing with. It depends. By the time we go for contempt of those who are blocking or those who wrote later that they will not obey the court order, then you will see the difference. You will see the difference. We did not take laws into our hand. All we said, okay, let's go and see who is wrong and who is right. And we are still open for dialogue. But nobody should threaten the existence of anybody.
The minister maintained that while challenges would always exist, government remains committed to doing its best for the people, insisting that lawful processes must be respected as the administration continues to engage stakeholders to resolve disputes. He reaffirmed that the FCT was not a lawless society and that court processes must be obeyed, adding that litigation was not the preferred option but sometimes unavoidable. Earlier, the Mandate Secretary of the FCTA Health Services and Environment Secretariat, Dr. Adedolapo Fashawe, described the commissioning of the 12 ambulances as a major milestone in strengthening emergency healthcare delivery in the Federal Capital Territory. She said the intervention reflected a people-centered approach to governance, emergency preparedness, and improved health outcomes for residents of the FCT.
This initiative goes beyond the provision of just ambulances. It reflects our commitment to people-centered governance, emergency preparedness, and improved health outcomes for all who reside in the FCT.
The Mandate Secretary also highlighted key achievements in the health sector, including the payment of long outstanding allowances such as hazard allowances, wage awards, and medical residency training funds, noting that the FCT was up to date on these obligations. She added that the upgrade of the School of Nursing to a full-fledged College of Nursing further demonstrated the administration's commitment to building a strong and sustainable health system. The ceremony ended with the formal handing over of the ambulances, which are expected to enhance emergency medical response and save lives across the Federal Capital Territory. Usman Khatun Umar, ASO Radio News.
The federal government has restated its commitments towards reclaiming Nigeria's rightful position among the world's top cocoa-producing countries to further boost job creation, economic growth, and food security in the country. The Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, stated this at the International Cocoa and Chocolate Forum, ICCF 2026 in London, UK. Senator Kyari, while speaking on the theme, Reclaiming Value, Shaping Rules, Nigeria's Vision for Cocoa Sovereignty, highlighted that the country has natural advantages in cocoa production, including fertile soils, suitable agro-ecological zones, and a deeply rooted farming tradition. He disclosed that the President Bola Tinubu's led administration is committed to supporting sustainable development initiatives, promoting responsible foreign investment, and advancing efforts to increase productivity, expand trade, and deepen economic activities across the agricultural sector. Senator Kyari revealed that Nigeria is strengthening economic ties through the African Continental Free Trade Area to enhance intra-African trade and global competitiveness. This aims to promote regulatory compliance, carbon-smart cocoa production, and youth inclusion in agriculture. The minister further emphasized Nigeria's commitment to sustainable development, climate resilience, and youth inclusion in the cocoa sector. He prided the meeting as a crucial step towards revitalizing cocoa production and promoting economic development in Nigeria and Africa, and commended the conveners, particularly His Royal Majesty Oba Dokun Thompson, for creating a platform for partnership, dialogue, and cultural exchange that can drive socio-economic growth across the continent. A statement by the head Department of Information, Federal Ministry of Agriculture, Mr. Eziacha Ikemefuna, reviewed highlights of the events, to include the presentation of a special award for transforming Nigeria's cocoa industry to the Minister, Senator Abubakar Kyari. The federal government has inaugurated 10 made-in-Nigeria electric buses and 20 saloon vehicles to enhance mobility and logistics at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. Speaking at the flag-off ceremony, the board chairman of the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, FAN, Alhaji Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, said the event shows government commitment to modernizing airport operations and aligning Nigeria's aviation sector with global standards. Here is the report.
Emphasizing zero carbon emissions, Alhaji Ganduje said the locally manufactured electric vehicles would promote a healthier airport environment while enhancing coordinated compliance and service reliability.
As part of this deployment, FAN is introducing 10 electric shuttle buses and 20 electric saloon vehicles into airport operations. These vehicles will support airside and landside logistics, staff movement, and passenger services, strengthening coordination and efficiency across the airport. Electric vehicles offer clear operational and environmental benefits. They are cleaner, quieter, and more energy efficient, significantly reducing carbon emissions and helping FAN minimize its ecological footprint.
Speaking earlier, the managing director of FAN, Olubunmi Koko, revealed that the airport authority has secured approval to deploy 100 electric vehicles to operate as airport shuttles at Lagos and Abuja airports.
The Federal Airports Authority has always prioritized passenger comfort, safety, and a seamless airport experience. The launch of our electric shuttle buses and cabs today is a powerful demonstration of that commitment, not just to service excellence, but a more sustainable and climate resilient future. We gather at a time when the impact of climate change is no longer an abstract discussion. It is a lived reality. We see it in rising temperatures, more frequent and extreme weather events, flooding and environmental degradation.
Head of Fleet Operations at Possible EVS, Abimbola Jia, said transport fares would be subsidized while
the city center, one stop, one location. And as demand continues, we will expand our hub. The operations will start from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. The price is 10,000 naira per passenger. This is to encourage customers to easy access to transportation from the airport and using zero-emission buses. Thank you.
FAN has assured comprehensive recycling programs across the nation's airports as part of its transformation agenda to promote a circular economy in its operations. Oluchi Okori Jacinta, ASO Television News.
The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Alhaji Muhammad Idris, has reaffirmed the federal government's commitment to the protection of freedom of religion and belief as a constitutionally guaranteed right and a pillar of national unity and peaceful coexistence. The minister gave the assurance during a courtesy visit on Wednesday by a delegation from the National Human Rights Commission, the Kuka Center, and the Nasrullahi Al-Fatih Society of Nigeria, NAFSAT, to the Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation. He was represented by the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Mr. Bodo Chinazat Nam, who received the delegation on his behalf. Speaking on behalf of the visiting organizations, the NHRC representative explained that the delegation was at the ministry to present the reports and policy brief from the first and second phases of a joint project focused on establishing mechanisms for monitoring freedom of religion and belief in Nigeria. She said this initiative was launched with a clear purpose to strengthen peaceful coexistence and protect the fundamental rights to religious freedom in Nigeria. She said for the past 2 years, they have been working in partnership on monitoring and collecting data on violations of freedoms of religion and belief. She noted that the first phase of the project focused on building trust and understanding among religious leaders, civil society actors, and community influencers through interfaith dialogue and a survey conducted across 6 states in the north and south. According to her, the second phase concentrated on Kano and Ebonyi states, where an inclusive monitoring network was established to document real-time cases of freedom of religious belief violations. The delegation also disclosed that the project included radio campaigns in Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, English, and Pidgin aired across the 6 geopolitical zones to promote awareness and tolerance. The policy brief submitted to the ministry, she added, was intended to support government decision-making and strengthen inclusive governance. The Permanent Secretary welcomed the delegation on behalf of the minister, describing them as critical stakeholders in peace building, human rights protection, and interfaith harmony. He stated that the ministry's mandate in strategic communication and national orientation aligns directly with promoting tolerance, in countering hate speech, and preventing misinformation and incitement. The Senate has constituted an ad hoc committee on the Electoral Act amendment. Senate President Godswill Akpabio, who constituted the committee after several hours of closed-door meeting, said it will be chaired by Senator Adeniyi Agbomimerere. Senator Akpabio disclosed that the committee will put together the senators' contributions on the Electoral Act amendment and report back in 3 days. Members of the committee included Senators Adamu Aliero, Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, Adams Oshomole, and Tony Nwoye, amongst others. Meanwhile, plenary has been adjourned to February 2nd, 2026. The Senate has constituted an ad hoc committee on railways investigation. The committee is mandated to find out sudden malfunctioning, poor fixing of rail tracks, and the use of alleged second-hand coaches. The committee is chaired by Senator Adams Oshomole. This followed an explanatory order raised by Senator Abdul Ningi Bauchi Central, expressing his worries over the sudden dilapidating nature of Abuja to Kaduna Railway, which was commissioned in 2015 by the former President Muhammadu Buhari's administration. According to him, he had a personal experience by using the train from Abuja to Kaduna, adding that he was shocked that the transport system that used to carry over 10,000 passengers in a day has suddenly dropped to 800 passengers. Senator Ningi noted that The most pathetic about the situation is the number of hours the train struggles to reach its destinations, which often last more than 3 hours, as against the normal 1 hour to arrive your destination, either Abuja or to Kaduna or Kaduna to Abuja. The Bauchi senator said the situation is worrisome and requires urgency, and called on the Senate and Nigerians to rise up to the occasion and find out why the Abuja to Kaduna railway has suddenly become malfunctioned. Supporting the order, President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, said the investigation will be extended to the use of the second-hand coaches and the rail tracks. Meanwhile, Senator Ningi reiterated that the order was strictly raised to also look into, amongst other things, the billions of naira generated during the active days of the railway to its present condition and what has happened to the revenue generated by the management. The Nigerian Union of Journalists, NUJ FCT Council, has sought strategic partnership with Tayan Group Construction to advance affordable housing for journalists and fast-track completion of its ultra-modern Congress Hall project in Abuja. Chairman of the council, Comrade Grace Ike, made the appeal on behalf of the over 1,500 journalists in the FCT during a courtesy visit on the managing director of Tayan Group at its headquarters in Abuja. The council chairman thanked Tayan Group's management for the warm reception and described the company as a key player in Abuja's urban transformation. She expressed the union's readiness to build mutual beneficial relationships with forward-thinking organizations that aligns with development and social responsibility, and appealed to Tayan Group to support the ongoing ultra-modern Congress Hall project of the NUJ FCT, which is intended to serve as a modern center for media training, professional events, and journalist welfare. Comrade Ike also called for infrastructure synergy, particularly in actualizing the NUJ FCT Journalist Village, which could enhance economic empowerment in the media sector. She expressed optimism that the partnership would promote transparency, development, and shared prosperity in the Federal Capital Territory. In his response, Tayan Group's Managing Director, Mr. Kinjide Fagbemi, described the engagement as long overdue, expressing appreciation to the NUJ FCT Council led by Chairman Ms. Grace Ike. He said Tayan Group remains open to partnerships with the NUJ FCT across various fronts, noting that media visibility and credibility are critical to the success of real estate development. Mr. Fagbemi later scheduled an on-the-site visit to the council secretariat in Utako, Abuja, to enable assess level of progress of ongoing construction work in the premises for immediate intervention. Now, when ASO briefing returns, we have more for you. Don't go away.
Good evening and welcome to the greatest show on earth. This is a people's game. They will be bubbling about this one for weeks and months to come. Let's go! Lights, camera, action. Put your mind on it, live the life that you remember.
Stay connected. Stay with us, starting from Yanga and Jolly.
You are watching ASO Briefing. Don't forget that you can watch us live on DSTV channel 392, StarTimes TV channel 127, and on Free TV, look us up on channel 507. On the UHF band, you can find us on channel 38. The national president of the Road Transport Employers Association of Nigeria, retained Alhaji Dr. Musa Muhammad Meitakobi, has inaugurated the national task force of the association at the retained headquarters in Abuja. A statement issued in Abuja by the retained National Publicity Secretary, Prince A.A. Adeniran, said the task force is headed by Comrade Nasiru Shafi as national chairman and has been established to standardize and sanitize retained operations across all state chapters of the Federation. According to the statement, the task force will focus on key operational areas including ticketing systems, vehicle manifest, membership verification, proper use of official identity cards, and compliance with approved uniforms. Members of the task force were drawn from retained state branches nationwide and are empowered to visit any chapter, assess levels of compliance, and report directly to the office of the national president. Speaking at the inauguration, Dr. Meitakobi emphasized the importance of accountability and discipline in repositioning the association. He noted that the task force is answerable solely to his office, a measure aimed at ensuring transparency, efficiency, and prompt action in addressing operational lapses and irregularities wherever they occur. To enhance the effectiveness of the task force, the national president also donated a Toyota operational vehicle to the national coordinator to facilitate mobility and enable seamless nationwide operations. The inauguration of the national task force, the statement added, underscores retains unwavering commitment to building a more organized, disciplined, and professional association that will safeguard the interest of its members while promoting best practices and excellence in Nigeria's road transport sector. Leaders of the All Progressives Congress APC Federal Capital Territory Geopolitical Zone Forum have appealed to Honorable Joshua Chinedu Obika, member of the House of Representatives for Amak Buhari Federal Constituency, to return to the party. Secretary of the Geopolitical Zone State Chairman Abdul Wahab Ekehinde stated this during a press conference held in Abuja on Thursday, while highlighting his efforts in presenting bills aimed at developing FCT communities and empowering constituents. Adeyemi Pelumi tells us more.
Secretary of the APC FCT Geopolitical Zone Forum, Abdul Wahab Ekikide, has appealed to Honorable Joshua Obika to return to the ruling party in order to contribute to the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The secretary commended Obika's legislative performance over the past 2.5 years, highlighting his efforts in presenting bills aimed at developing FCT communities and empowering constituents.
The leadership of the APC FCT Geopolitical Zones Forum are honored to address you this afternoon to make a heartfelt appeal to our brother, the working member of the House of Representatives, a practical member, a member who has performed beyond expectation, Honorable Chinedu Joshua Obika. As the umbrella body of APC members residing in FCT but hailing from the six geopolitical zones of Nigeria, we recognize and acknowledge his remarkable legislative performance in the Great Chambers over the last 2.5 years. His dedication to quality presentation of bills that will reshape the development of FCT communities, empower the constituents, and provision of various projects in the community has been exemplary. Honorable Obika is a prominent figure, a prominent political figure in the FCT, and APC is his home.
Former AMAC Vice Chairman and leader of the forum, Honorable Lawrence Onuchukwu, highlighted the benefits APC members in FCT have received under the Tinubu administration, including ministerial appointments. The forum also called on Obika to join on other stakeholders. The forum also called on Obika to join other key leaders, including Senator Hope Uzodinma, Imo State Governor, and Honorable Ben Kalu, Deputy Speaker of the House. Take 3. The forum also called on Obika to join other key leaders, including Senator Hope Uzodinma, Imo State Governor, and Honorable Ben Kalu, Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, in advancing the party's renewed hope agenda. Pelumi Adeyemi, ASO Television News.
The Caleb Danladi Foundation has announced plans to train 1,000 students in digital literacy and foundational technology skills across the Federal Capital Territory, Kaduna State, and Abuja, while also supporting out-of-school girls to return to formal education as part of its broader youth and gender inclusion agenda. The initiative, scheduled to commence in 2026 this year, targets in-school and out-of-school youth with a deliberate focus on girls and young women, particularly those who have dropped out due to economic hardship, social barriers, or lack of access to educational opportunities. Here is the report.
During a stakeholders engagement meeting in Abuja, founder of the foundation, Dr. Caleb Danladi Bako, described the initiative as a holistic approach to tackling educational exclusion, digital inequality, and gender gaps in STEM. He said the intervention goes beyond skill training but a pathway to creating pathways for out-of-school girls to return to school while equipping them with digital competencies that will keep them engaged, confident, and future-ready. He explained that the program will combine digital literacy training, back-to-school support, mentorship, and STEM awareness, ensuring that beneficiaries, especially girls, are not only re-enrolled in school but also supported to remain and succeed. He added that when girls are supported back to school and exposed early to digital skills and STEM opportunities, the ripple effect is transformative on families, communities, and the nation, as female participation is at the heart of the NGO intervention. According to the foundation, the digital literacy curriculum will include basic computer skills, internet safety, digital productivity tools, introductory coding, and STEM career guidance, delivered through schools, community learning hubs, and partners institutions across target locations. The initiative also aligns with Sustainable Development Goals, quality education, gender equality, decent work and economic growth, reduced inequality, and complements ongoing efforts by government and the development partners to address Nigeria's high number of out-of-school children. The NGO boss called on government agencies, private sector organizations, technology companies, donor partners, and civil society groups to collaborate in scaling the initiative through funding, learning materials, scholarships, and volunteer mentorships. He emphasized to solve the education crisis, strategic partnerships will enable the NGO reach more children, return more girls to school, and prepare a digitally skilled generation that can compete globally.
Civil Society Organization on Community Advocacy and Humanitarian Empowerment Initiative, CSEC, has expressed its preparedness to ensuring effective taxation accelerates growth of Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, foster inclusive growth, and improve the well-being of all Nigerians. Director General of the CSEC, Mr. Kunle Yusuf, stated this in a welcome address at the National Leadership of Civil Society Organizations retreat held in Abuja, emphasized the critical role the new tax reforms play in driving progress towards the SDGs Agenda 2030. Our business correspondent, Ile Emeje, is standing by with details. Will be brought to you in our subsequent bulletin. Now, stakeholders in waste management through the conversion of waste to wealth have urged for more participation of youth and strengthen collaboration to boosting financial inclusivity of communities across the country, beginning from the Federal Capital Territory and Nasarawa State. The Chief Executive Officer of PS International, Dr. Mrs. Ibikun Odushote in Abuja, the Chief Executive Officer of PS International, Dr. Mrs. Ibikun Odushote in Abuja, while hosting the inception and familiarization program for its Give Small Grants program supported project, affirmed that at bringing together youth participants and stakeholders to discuss project objectives, implementation structure, and planned intervention in FCT and Nasarawa State. Our correspondent, Ile Eimeje, tells us more.
The Chief Executive Officer, Digital Pairs International, Dr. Mrs. Ibukun Odusate, during a welcome address in Abuja, hosting the inception and familiarization program for small grants-supported projects, highlights the need for adequate community engagement and strengthened collaboration across plastic waste management for a sustainable well-being of citizens.
Building on the remarkable accomplishments of SGP 1.0, we had that in 2024, including the development of innovative solutions and the active engagement of hundreds of youths in digital and community-led interventions. This next phase significantly expands our ambition. SGP 2.0 seeks to deepen community engagement, enhance technological approaches to environmental management, and strengthen collaborative partnerships across the Federal Capital Territory and Nasarawa State. It represents a deliberate and strategic effort to harness the energy, ingenuity, and determination of young people to create sustainable and scalable solutions to plastic waste management.
Speaking in an interview with newsmen, Dr. Mrs. Odusate helps effective sensitization towards more engagement of youth for economic growth.
Number one, create awareness. It's youth empowerment It takes away poverty and replaces with money in the hands of people. So we are bringing about creativity, innovation that can bring economic value to people.
Other critical stakeholders, including partners and participants, commended the initiative while pledging support.
I really want to commend this organization, and the Federal Ministry of Environment is open to this kind of partnerships, where we can come together, rub minds, and develop, because the future belongs to us, the youth.
It's very innovative, and it's very good that this second phase, for UNDP to approve the first phase, then approve the second phase, means we are doing a very good job.
Or translates this waste into wealth, and we'll now enjoy, and that will lead to economic growth and development.
Let us build the capacity of people to be able to address the problems, and let us provide them with the resources to be able to address the problem.
So we are trying to encourage reuse, reduce and recycling.
We are here to learn the culture of responsible waste management.
Ile Emeje, ASO Television News.
A farewell reception was held on Thursday, January 29, 2026, to honor Ambassador Bello Kazaure Hussaini upon the conclusion of his service in the Nigerian Foreign Service. The event was hosted by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs at its headquarters. The reception was attended by senior government officials, serving and retired diplomats, representatives of international organizations, members of the diplomatic corps, as well as colleagues, friends, and family. Ambassador Hussaini, born on December 11, 1967 in Jigawa State, began his career with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in 1991. His distinguished service included postings to Nigerian missions in India, Kuwait, Tunisia, Japan, Cameroon, Australia, and Saudi Arabia, with responsibilities covering diplomacy, administration, trade, protocol, and bilateral and multilateral engagements. Ministry spokesperson Kinyebi Ibienfa wrote in a communique that speakers at the event paid tribute to his over 3 decades of service, highlighting his professionalism, integrity, and dedication to diplomatic principles. His leadership was noted for its emphasis on mentorship, inclusivity, and a steadfast commitment to national interest. Ambassador Hussaini expressed gratitude to the federal government and the ministry for the opportunity to serve. He described public service as both a privilege and a responsibility, encouraging younger officers to uphold values of discipline, professionalism, and patriotism. The ministry further commended Ambassador Hussaini for his exemplary service and extended best wishes for his future endeavors. Now, in a significant demonstration of regional solidarity, the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has disbursed humanitarian aid totaling $719,733 to the Republic of Togo. The funds allocated through the ECOWAS Directorate of Humanitarian and Social Affairs are designed to provide critical support to refugees, internally displaced persons, asylum seekers, and returnees and host communities. This initiative is a direct implementation of the bloc's long-term development framework, Vision 2050. The official handover ceremony was conducted on January 26, 2026 in Lomé. The check was presented by by Ms. Dewa Emily, ECOWAS resident representative in Togo, and Dr. Sintiki Tafa Ube, ECOWAS Director of Humanitarian and Social Affairs. The Togolese government was represented by the Commissioner Hodabalo Kabja of the Ministry of Security and Civil Protection and Lieutenant Colonel Yoma Baka, Director General of the National Civil Protection Agency. This intervention is being implemented in partnership with the United Nations World Food Programme and will be coordinated on the ground by the AMPC under the authority of the Togolese Ministry of Security. And that story brings us to the end of ASO briefing for today. Many thanks for watching. I am Richard Alichinwanyebe.